All right, hello there. Today we're diving into the world of software testing tools and frameworks. And to make things a bit more interesting, we're going to be swapping our code editors for cookbooks. So pop your apron on, because we're about to bake up some seriously high-quality software.
So let's start with a question that probably gives project managers a proper nightmare. You know the feeling. You've spent months pouring your heart and soul into a project, it all looks absolutely magnificent, and then, right at the very end, it all goes a bit pear-shaped.
Exactly. Whether you're in a big white tent in the middle of a field or a boardroom in the city, it is the classic last-minute disaster we all want to avoid, a complete and utter soggy bottom.
So, the big question is, how do we stop that from happening? Well, as any star baker will tell you, it all comes down to setting up your kitchen properly. You need the right tools, the right process, and definitely the right mindset.
First up is something called continuous integration, or CI for short. Just imagine every time a developer adds a new ingredient, a new bit of code to the main recipe, an automated taster instantly kicks in to check it. This means you catch any weird flavor clashes or problems right away, not hours later when the whole cake is ruined. That fast feedback, it's absolutely crucial.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting, because there's a subtle but really important difference in how you serve up your final creation. With continuous delivery, your masterpiece is baked, it's cooled, it's looking perfect, and it's just sitting there waiting for the business to say, right, let's serve it. But continuous deployment? That's for the brave ones. The second that cake is ready, a machine slices it up and sends it straight out to the customers. No messing about.
And here's the thing. None of this fancy automation works if you don't have the right team culture. I mean, if your chefs, the developers, are just blaming the front-of-house staff, your operations team, the whole restaurant falls apart. You've got to have what's called a DevOps mindset, where everyone, from the person writing the first line of code to the person keeping the servers running, is in it together. It's a culture of collaboration, not pointing fingers.
So, our automated kitchen is all set up. Fantastic! Now, let's have a look at the specific techniques that our star bakers, our developers, are using to make sure they get a perfect result every single time.
Probably the most important technique of all is something called shift-left testing. And really it's just common sense, isn't it? I mean, why would you wait until the cake is in the oven to realize you've misread the recipe? Shift-left is all about moving those quality checks as early as you possibly can. It's about spotting a problem in the planning stage, not just at the end. It's all about preventing the mistake in the first place.
Now for a little bit of tech magic, static code analysis. Think of it like having a super smart scanner that zaps all your ingredients before they even touch the bowl. It can tell you if an egg is a bit off, if your flour's gone past its best, or if your fancy chocolate is actually, cooking chocolate. It finds potential problems in the code before you even try to run it. It's incredibly useful stuff.
Of course, you can have all the gadgets in the world, but let's be honest. Sometimes there's just no substitute for a second pair of eyes. And that's where code reviews come in. It's basically like baking with a mate who can gently tap you on the shoulder and say, you've just picked up the salt instead of the sugar. It saves you from a world of pain, believe me.
And this just perfectly illustrates a habit that all great chefs have. Cleaning as you go. Refactoring is the coding version of that. It's not about changing the cake itself. The taste is the same, but it's about keeping your workstation tidy, your bowls clean, your process efficient. It stops your whole technical kitchen from descending into absolute chaos down the line.
Right then, the bake is out of the oven, the kitchen is spotless, but how do we actually know if it's a true showstopper? Well, it's time to face the judges.
Because the judges, you see, they care about a lot more than just how it tastes. They'll be looking at all sorts of things. Can you serve it quickly? Is your secret recipe safe from your rivals? Could you scale it up for a massive wedding? And most importantly, does it have a good structure, or is it just going to collapse into a sad heap? In our world, this is what we call non-functional testing.
So, how do modern teams keep track of all this? Well, they use a big, visible dashboard, sometimes called an information radiator. It's basically a scoreboard right there in the kitchen. Everyone on the team can see at a glance how many showstoppers we're churning out versus how many burnt offerings, and yes, how many of those dreaded soggy bottoms. It's all about total transparency.
So after all that, the tools, the teamwork, the judging, we can pretty much boil it all down to one single philosophy. One golden rule that separates the happy amateurs from the true star bakers.
So look, the most important thing to take away is this. Quality isn't something you check for at the end. You don't just poke the software when it's supposedly finished and hope for the best. No, true quality is an ingredient just like flour or eggs that you build into the process right from the very start. It's automated, it's continuous, and it is absolutely everyone's job.
So there you have it. By setting up your automated kitchen, using the right techniques, and making quality a goal for the whole team, you can wave goodbye to those last-minute disasters. We've given you the recipe for success. The only question left is, what magnificent showstopper are you going to build? Cheers for joining me.